Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks Futures and Forex Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday, the 19th of March, 2023. I think Friday the 24th, we just got wrapped up with triple expiration for options, which is why we had kind of a slow day on Friday, but that puts all that behind us. So we're 2 weeks ago, we're on the June contracts for futures, and now we are on to the uh, April is the next expiration cycle for options. So here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. Very flat, obviously, still sitting where it was both 3 months ago and 7 months ago, and very flat over the last couple of weeks. Nothing exciting there at all to look at. Pound dollar, pretty much just as flat, looking at the same thing, pretty much where it was 3 and 7 months ago. The euro dollar, also very flat this last couple of weeks. It just hasn't been very. Forex has not been interesting. Look at the pound yen, just except for that dip back in September. This thing's been kind of trapped for the whole year. All right, so let's get on to the stock market. Here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the June contract, the daily chart of the broad market in futures form, as we like to call it. And, again, not much of a week. Kind of drifted up a little bit, but didn't really close much higher than where we started. We'll look at the intra-week action in a minute. S&P cash 500 index, or S&P 500 cash, also up a little bit for the week, but not much. Nasdaq 100, on the other hand, this one's different. We're at a 12 now on the seeker count, so one more day up, we're going to get a 13 sell signal on the Nasdaq 100. That's something to keep an eye on. Russell 2000 net didn't do much this week. Obviously, with all the banking issues, it hurts the smaller cap stocks worse. Crude oil down to $66.93. That's a new low. Interesting with the war going on, but obviously potentially reflecting a slowdown in the U.S. economy, and plus we're heading into the warmer months. Gold, on the other hand, trying to break out. Everything's about the banking sector right now. That's where the issues are. It's interesting that the market so far does not seem to care about that, but I don't know if that's going to last. Bitcoin, on the other hand, 27,634 as I do this. It's obviously trades 24/7, so it's open right now, even on Sunday. So that's up quite a bit and definitely off the lows. I mean, this thing has almost doubled since the 16,000 area. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, not much here. Kind of just flat all week. The bonds didn't do much. Again, that's kind of surprising with all the banking problems. The VIX, on the other hand, did spike on the banking problems, but pulled back to 25.51 for the close on Friday. Advanced decline ratio in the New York, more stocks down than up recently, I would say. The orange line is the 10-day moving average. The trend closes at 1.52, puts the 10-day moving average all the way up at 1.26. So nowhere near any kind of signal that we care about, although it's getting near the high end of that range on the 10-day moving average. Here's the ES front month futures contract. This is the 5-minute chart going back to the whole week. And so you can see the prior Friday and then everything that happened during the week here. And, kind of not much. Like I said, just closed a little bit up for the week. A lot of these days were very dead flat. Wednesday was dead flat. Friday, obviously, with the options expiration, was dead flat. Looks like we got our options unraveling move on Thursday. So there's not a lot of excitement there. The Nasdaq 100, a little more positive-ish, kind of up all week, except for the very open back on Monday. Let's look at the daily charts of some of our favorite stocks just to see if we've got any signals. So Apple, no signal, although it does have a breakout point here. We're watching that this week. You can guarantee that's going up in the Twitter feed. Amazon up a little bit for the week, not much of a pattern there. Meta did break out finally. Google also up. Interesting, these tech stocks going up with all the banking problems. Goldman Sachs, on the other hand, the bank down for the week. Netflix up a little bit. No signal here either, and no pattern. Tesla down since that 13 sell signal, but not much here. Nvidia new high for the year, or for the last, I don't know, we'll call it 8 months, and then Zoom up just a little bit for the week, barely. So that's about it in terms of economic data coming out this week. We've got, we'll just talk about what's here in the U.S. Nothing on Monday at all. Europe does have its trade balance. Japan's on a bank holiday on Monday, so we don't have that to look at. Tuesday, we've got the CPI out of Canada. Here in the U.S., we've got existing home sales at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's it. So we're on to Wednesday without much data here in the U.S. Wednesday, crude oil inventories at 10:30. Again, no real data, but we do have a Fed rate announcement. Likely, they're talking about a hike again, obviously. Although with all the banking stuff that's going on, we'll see what happens. But the rate announcement will be at, or the Fed, yeah, the rate announcement will be at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And the press conference at 2:30. So we've got a two-day Fed meeting this week. Thursday, again, not much coming out. It's kind of an interesting week. We've got the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers. We do have a rate. The Swiss National Bank and the Bank of England both have their meetings as well, so they'll have rate announcements. And there's expecting hikes there as well, but out of both of them. And then we've also got the current account number here. We got new home sales, natty gas at 10:30 on Thursday, and then on Friday, durable goods orders at 8:30, manufacturing PMI and services PMI at 9:45, and then the rest of the world, Switzerland and Europe and the UK, have their daylight savings time shift next weekend. We've already had it here, obviously, in the U.S. So kind of a light week for data, but obviously the Fed meeting is what we're going to watch, and all the banking stuff is probably where the story will be. Charts, as usual, brought to you by Ninja Trader. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We'll help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.